Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy. I'm here to read you another story. And I'm here to read you a Christmas story because, wow, Christmas is getting close. Now, I'm super excited about tonight's book because it comes to me from one of my friends. My friend Aubrey came to see me the other day, and she was telling me all about this book she had at home. And it sounded so exciting, so I asked her to bring it in, and she did. So now we get to read it together. And this book is called Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree. Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree. This is a story about Mr. Willowby who gets a Christmas tree that's just a little too big. And some crazy things starts happening when he starts cutting up that tree. I think you're going to really like this book. I liked it a lot when Aubrey told me about it. So we're going to get in it together. Are you ready to get inside this Christmas book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree by Robert Barry. Mr. Willowby's Christmas tree came by special delivery, full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. Oh, look at that. That must be Mr. Willowby at his house. And there's a truck driver bringing a big Christmas tree. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd waited for. "A magnificent tree! Splendid!" he cried. "Please, sir, won't you carry it right inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here." They're taking the tree in the house and finding the perfect spot for it. But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willowby made a terrible face. The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. "Oh, good heavens," he gasped. "Something must go." "The tree is too big for that spot. What will he do?" Baxter the butler was called on in haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. "That's great," Mr. Willowby cried with glee. "Now we can start to trim my tree." When the trimming was well under way, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, "I know just who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree." So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willowby's upstairs maid. Oh, look, they took the top off, and it looks like a little tree. So the butler's going to give it to the maid. "Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have trimmed it later tonight? But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid will have to be cut," sighed Miss Adelaide. And so with the scissors sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in the back of the house to be thrown away. She had to cut off the top too, and it looks like another little tree. That little tree top caught the eye of Tim, the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa-la-la-la-la, surprise, surprise. His wife could not believe her eyes. "But our house," she said, "is so snug and so small. I do not believe we need it at all." And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. "Now who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day?" said Barnaby Bear. "I'll take it home, that's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I've a present for you." Now he has a piece of the tree, and he's taking it to his house. "Isn't it a pretty tree?" yawned Barnaby quite drowsily. But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, "That tree won't hold a star." Barnaby said, "Let's cut a hunk off of the bottom here at the trunk." But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the tree top off instead. She did it too. "Jolly by golly," Barnaby said with a kick. "Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honey rings, some berries and tinsel and popcorn on strings." Mama said, "Trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we won't need anymore. I'll put it just outside the door." Now Mama's putting her piece of the tree out the door. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, opened his stack, and stuffed the top in. Now the fox is taking a piece of the tree. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. "It's even better than a mincemeat pie," said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. "There, my dears, don't you worry. I'll fix this top now in a hurry." And she cut off a piece of the tree. Benjamin Rabbit found it then just outside the fox's den. "It seems," he thought, "most certainly Santa left that for my family." "Look," he cried, "see the tree I found?" With that he called his family round. Then they were a merry-making, rockingly, frockingly, carrot-shaking celebration around the tree. All were as happy as rabbits can be. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. "Now let's see how this will look in our chimney nook." But right away the children cried, "Look! It's leaning off to one side!" "It's too tall, that's all," said Mrs. Rabbit, and as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw away the top. Then Mistletoe's mouse just happened to see that tiny tip of a Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. "It's just the right size," said Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese. Finally, a house that it fits in. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willowby? Wasn't that a fun book? I really liked that. That was crazy. Mr. Willowby got a Christmas tree that was too big, so he cut off the top, and he gave the top to his upstairs maid, and she cut off the top, and everybody kept cutting off the top until it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it was the perfect size for the mouse family. This was so fun, because in the end, everybody ended up with a Christmas tree just like Mr. Willowby. Aubrey, I really liked this book. I'm so glad you brought it in. I hope my friends liked it too. It was a lot of fun. Christmas is getting so close, guys. We just have a few more days of Christmas books and then Christmas will be here. I am so excited to be spending these times with you. Now listen, Christmas is an exciting time and your family's probably busy and you've got a lot to do and you're probably very excited. But in all the excitement, no matter what you do, remember, you need to continue to obey and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy because I'm going to be sitting right here tomorrow ready to read another Christmas book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.